I'm 24 years old. My mother is dead. She died on December 26th. And today is January 5th. I'm only making the video because I ran it by my therapist. And she actually was supportive of it. I wouldn't have done this if she was like, no, that's kind of private, don't publish it. But I don't exactly have a large following. I was hoping to record this in order to, like, organize my thoughts about all of this, because it is a very conflicting kind of situation for me emotionally. I don't know how many of you remember, but for a while I had a video up that would autoplay on my channel that was my channel trailer. I ended up getting rid of it, partly because I felt after a while that it was unnecessary, and honestly kind of a lot, right? Like, it was a lot of very personal information, and I was like, you know what, I don't need this. And on top of it, honestly, I've always found channel, like, autoplay videos like that on people's channels really fucking annoying. I just did it because I wanted to set, like, some baseline expectations for the kind of person I am and where I came from. Because I do find that a lot of my personality is very much influenced by how I grew up. There's still quite a bit of trauma that I'm actually working through as a result of my mother. She was incredibly abusive to me for a very, 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 very long time. And I didn't get out of that situation until 2021. I have not spoken with her in person since the day that I left her house. And now I never will. And that's kind of a scary thought, I guess. She had reached out to me via Facebook Messenger, because I blocked her phone number and email because I didn't want her contacting me, because every time that she did speak to me, it was hurtful. And when she reached out to me via Facebook Messenger, it was hurtful. We had an argument again. And that was actually the last time I ever spoke with her. The last interaction I ever had with my mother was an argument. And it's not like that was my choice, right? That's kind of just how things ended up being. So when we got the call from the hospital with no explanation, like, hey, your mom's in the hospital, you need to come here, I'd been through this sort of thing before. My stepfather had passed in, I think it was like 2017. And I kind of knew, like, what was gonna happen. I knew it wasn't gonna be good. Especially when I was not her emergency contact. I actually don't think any of, because they had reached out to my father, who I'm living with, as well. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, this isn't gonna be fucking good. And it happened. And she's gone. And I can't necessarily say I'm sad about it, but I can't really say I'm happy either. Because not only did she hurt me, she hurt the people I care about. She hurt my father, she hurt my stepmother. She probably hurt a lot of other people in her life. Now, that's not to say she didn't, like, have friends or anything. She definitely had people she treated better than me. Her daughter, mind you. But this isn't about them. So now, after spending 4 years, almost 5, away from my abuser, a woman who told me that I would never really amount to anything, that told me that I wasn't... There were just so many things that she said to me that were so awful. And it's hard, though, because I can't really, like, just repeat them, because a lot of them were, like, in context. Backhanded compliments. Things where it's like, if you don't do X, you'll never amount to Y, even though they're not related. Like, she told me that if I couldn't put the garbage bags in the garbage cans properly, I would never be able to hold a job. Or she said to me, well, at least I don't tell you you're flabby when you walk like Grandma told me. And these were regular occurrences. It's not like I was so berated. It was a daily occurrence, this sort of thing. I got yelled at literally every single day about something. Didn't matter what it was, but I definitely got yelled at every day about something. So, I've spent years at this point trying to get away from her, trying to heal myself, trying to do good by myself, so that I can be a healthier person. And there was always a part of me, because I knew, right? I knew she wasn't well. I knew that the reason she treated me the way she did is because she was also treated horribly, right? That's the cycle of abuse. That's how it works. And I knew this back in, like, high school. But that's not an excuse, right? That's just the reason for it. So I was always kind of hoping a little bit that maybe one day she would get better enough to actually acknowledge that she was sick. Because she was so mentally ill that she couldn't even acknowledge that she was mentally ill. Right? Like, there was... Anytime I mentioned, like, hey, maybe we could try, like, family therapy, she was like, they wouldn't understand. You're supposed to tell them so that they do understand, you know? But she couldn't even acknowledge that there was something wrong. with like beyond what was convenient for her, right? Like, she could be like, oh, you're depressed? Well, I'm also depressed, and, like, I can still do all this shit. So, and it's like, oh, don't speak ill of the dead, but it's like, fuck that. She has irreparably damaged me for the rest of my life. I have to live with this. I have to live with being raised by someone who treated me like that. And I have to learn how to manage that without hurting the people I care about. Because I don't want to hurt the people I care about. I care about them. So, it's just, it's a lot of animosity, I'll say. I'm very angry because now I, the victim, not to refer to myself as a victim identity-wise, but, like, I now have to take care of all my mom's shit. Because, yeah, she died young. Like I said, I'm only 24, meaning she was in her 50s. I have to take care of all of her shit. The one that she treated like garbage, the one that she abused, I have to take care of her in death. Because that was kind of something, right, that she was banking on, I'm fairly certain. She had this notion of, like, just because you're older, you know better. The parents always know best. It doesn't matter what the kid thinks. It doesn't matter, like, all of the evidence. If a parent is wrong, they're the parent, therefore they know best. Which has a lot to do with her own, like, how she was raised. So it's not fair to me because I spent so long trying to get the fuck away from her so I could handle my own shit. So I could make sure that I was a better person. Make sure that I did right by the people I cared about. Only for her to die, and now I have to take care of it. I have to go back into that house that I was pulled out of by the police. I have to go back and manage all of her, like, thousands of dollars of debt. I have to go and manage people that she met after I left. People I don't know. People who were on good terms with her. I have to go interact with people she was good to. And I have to look them in the face while they're like, oh, she was such a good person. She was so kind. You know, she loved you. And I have to smile and be okay with that. And people would be like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. Yes, I do. Because they're grieving too. It's not just me that this affects. Like, I have to be cognizant that there are other people that are affected by this. Right? Because if I don't, I'm an asshole. Like, that's just the long and the short of it. So, there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of, how dare she get off easy? She gets to just die and not worry about it, and I'll handle it, because I always handled everything. Even when I was a kid, like, she said it herself, I was her emotional support when her mom died. I was fucking 9. I was 9 when that happened. And she was letting me be her fucking therapist. There's a lot of frustration and honestly quite a bit of disappointment too. Just because, like, this is supposed to be a time where you're reflecting on the life that, not necessarily like you lived, but the life that you had with them, right? And I'm gonna be so real. Every single fucking memory that has come up, every item I have looked at that has reminded me of something with her, has brought forth something negative. I presently have not remembered a single positive thing from this woman. And a lot of people are probably going to be like, oh, well, that's not fair to, like, her. That's not fair to whatever. I don't know. This was not a particularly well planned out video. I'm trying to kind of let it be spur of the moment and less organized, because I'm trying to remain true to sorting out my emotions, right? So, man, I don't know. It's so frustrating because I still cry about it. Unfortunately, my anger response is usually to cry. It's also one of my anxiety responses is to cry. I'm just a very tearful person. Fuck. So, when I'm sitting there with, like, funeral directors and coroner's office people, I'm crying. And it sucks because it's not it is partially from a place of mourning, but it's not really from the same place of mourning that most people would assume, right? Like, I'm not keeping her ashes. Like, I got her cremated. I'm not keeping that. That's not staying in my house, right? I'm not keeping my childhood home. Fuck that building. I will never be able to live in a split-level floor plan without issue. Because of how much awful shit happened in our split-level house. Like, yeah, there's some fun memories of, like, Christmas and stuff, but none of them have anything to do with her. It has everything to do with my cousins and my aunt and uncle, and mostly my cousins. So it really just kind of, I don't know. I want to say it sucks. It sucks that I can't look back at my own mother and have anything positive to say. I can't. Like, I could be like, yeah, she, like, made friends with people online, but she was also really fucking catty about that. She was always looking for fucking drama. It's strange. Because I stopped loving that woman a very long time ago. And yet, I'm still crying for her. Unless I'm crying for myself and haven't realized yet. Because there's a part of me, like I said a little earlier, there's a part of me that's like, she will never get a chance to get better. She will never get a chance to be the person that she could have been. Kind, thoughtful, a good mom. I don't know how the hell I turned out the way I did. Probably because I caught on that what she was doing was shit pretty early on, but... like, actually surprisingly really early on, come to think of it. There was one morning when I was... oh god, how old was I? I had to be like... 4. We were still living... my parents were still married, so I was younger than 6. And she was mad at me about something. I think I said I didn't know. Like, she asked me a question and my answer was I don't know, because I didn't know. And she got mad at me about it. So her response was to... she was making food. She was making food. And I asked her a question. And in a really mocking tone, while making food, she went, I don't know. And as a child, I was just like, oh, well, I don't really understand how she couldn't know. Like, she's currently making food. I think I asked, like, when food would be done. It didn't... I don't know, it didn't achieve what she wanted it to achieve, right? She's trying to, like, make me feel bad for answering her with I don't know, but I didn't know. So, when she mocked me by saying I don't know, I was just like, oh, that's weird. I guess she doesn't know. And she did that shit to me constantly. And mind you, like I said, I was probably 4, 3, and she was doing that to me at that age. So, unfortunately, it didn't really matter what I answered her at any given point. Because a lot of the time, when she would ask me a question and it was about something like I didn't necessarily want to tell her, I would, but this was, mind you, this is like getting into middle school and high school. I would say I didn't know. Because I didn't want to answer her. It didn't matter if I answered her honestly or dishonestly. I was going to get yelled at no matter what. Which is unfortunately why I have developed the relationship with, like, school that I did, which was, it doesn't matter what grade I get as long as it's a passing grade. Because that was the rule at her house. It didn't matter what grade I got. I was going to get bitched at about it, and I would only not get bitched at about it if I passed. But eventually that consistent rule changed. Because she bitched at me when I got into high school, that I didn't have honor roll every single semester. She was like, well, I had honor roll I had high honor roll every single semester. I don't think she did. I think she had regular honor roll every semester. But when I did finally get back on honor roll, I was, like, excited. And I presented that. And she was like, well, it could have been high honor roll. Or when I got a 3 on the AP English exam. Or not AP English, AP World History. And I was so excited because I was told that that exam was really hard and you'd be lucky if you even got a 3. Because a lot of kids don't pass it. And I was so excited and I showed her, I was like, holy shit, I didn't believe I got this. And she was like, it would have been higher if you did your homework. Even though the homework has nothing to do with the AP exam, which I told her that. Like, that is literally the only time she ever apologized to me. Because my stepfather was standing there when she did that shit. And he told her to apologize to me. And when she did apologize to me, it was like, oh, well, like, I'm sorry that hurt your feelings, but, like, you would have done better on the test had you actually kept up with your homework. And I was like, I already told you, the test has nothing to do with homework. But thanks for apologizing, I guess. I didn't say that verbatim. I would have gotten screamed at had I. I think I just said okay and went back to crying in my room. And, like, it's kind of a weight off my shoulders now that she's dead. Like, I never have to interact with this woman again. All of this running, I'm free. I'm finally away from her. I never have to talk to her again. I never have to deal with being put down by her again. I never have to worry about if I go to the Target in my hometown, am I gonna run into her? None of that's a concern anymore. And that's a little bit scary as, like, a finality. Oh my god, it's actually over. Oh, what the fuck? When did this happen? I probably got struck by lightning. Ow! But I just... Man, I don't know. It's still really stressful. And that's the crazy thing. And I mentioned this a couple times to my friends, right? Because my friends have been a huge help through all of this. They've been there. They've offered to help me if I needed anything. Fortunately, I haven't really needed to bother them with anything yet, but they've been there. And I mentioned this to them. Like, it's crazy when you look back at where you came from in your mental health pursuits, right? You don't really realize how much better you've gotten. I didn't realize just how little anxiety I've had over the past several years, actually, until recently. Like, unfortunately, yeah, I'm dealing with anxiety and stress. Oh my god, the stress of managing all of her assets and getting things canceled and having to call a bunch of companies and stuff. The amount of stress. I didn't realize how stress-free I was until I was stressed again. Which is a good thing, right? Nothing I've said so far has been necessarily bad. Except for, like, the sense of injustice from her getting out scot-free. Right? Like, the doctor told me that if she had if she had gone through the emergency she had gone through at the hospital, they still wouldn't have been able to save her. Okay, fine. I believe you. I don't know where I was going with this. Honestly, I probably shouldn't, like, actually actively be playing. I should have just talked and then filmed separately, but I figured this would help. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. God damn it. That's annoying. Oh, like, okay, that's where I was going. The injustice of it, like, not being fair. That she got to die and never feel remorse and never realize she did wrong, and then follow that up with never be able to get better, because you can't get better if you don't know that there's something wrong to begin with. She never even realized there was anything wrong. So and that's another thing that's kind of like, I guess, fucked up about the nature of her death. Fuck. Are you kidding me? Ugh, I don't even have silk touch. That's so bullshit. Sorry. I'm checking to see if I have any podzol left. I don't think I do. Close your eyes. Oh wow, would you look at that? I found podzol in one of the chests. That's crazy. That's insane. Anyway. Because of how sudden her passing was, and how, like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? How it played out. She was unconscious for most of it. She didn't even have, this is where it, like, sounds a little selfish. She didn't even have a chance to have me as her last thought. Because I'm pretty sure, from what it sounded like, she was unconscious before she even got in the ambulance. And the last message I have from her on Facebook was birthday wishes. The last time my mother ever reached out to me was on my birthday. I'm gonna make myself cry. And this is the thing, right? This is the part that I think bothers me the most, is because it is really fucked up and it is really unfair. Just one chance where I could have screamed at her, "Look what you did to me." And I will never get that chance again. It wouldn't be helpful. Not in the slightest. Wouldn't be helpful at all. But now it's something I'm never even going to get the chance to do. Is that selfish and stupid and, like, uninformed? Yes, I know. She would never, ever admit that she ever did anything wrong. She would never acknowledge with her full chest that she hurt me. There would always be a caveat. Oh, well, you actually asked for it. Well, you drove me to do this. I was a kid. And she was my mom. And she treated me like shit all the time. And I can't fully pinpoint where the tears are coming from. I know where the anger comes from. I know where the stress comes from. I don't know why I'm still crying. I don't. I really fucking don't. My therapist said that, oh, well, she's still your mom. And maybe that's it. But that seems not simple, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like the right answer. I don't know. There's also a lot of very weird emotions about the rest of the family. My uncle, her brother, has always been very distant from the rest of the family. I called him first when we found out. Well, I called him second. My stepbrother, was still living with her. So I called him and had him let anyone else that he knew that I didn't know. And it turns out, yeah, she had met other people. This makes it sound like I'm jealous that she had partners. No, I don't give a shit. I'm more... What's the word I'm looking for? The thing about her having partners is that my picture was still on the wall when I went back to that house. Meaning, she probably had to explain who I was. And this might be like, oh, well, you just want to know if she badmouthed you. Kinda, yeah. Because that's going to potentially make my job as handling all of her shit, now that she's dead, potentially more difficult. Because if she told a bunch of people, my cousins, my family, her partners, that I was an untrusty little brat, an untrustworthy little brat who abused her and ran away to live with her evil father who only wanted money, then that's going to make my life a lot harder when now I have to manage all of her money. I don't want that fucking house. I have her car, I have her house, I have all her debt, I guess, technically, although they can suck my ass. I didn't borrow. Of course it had to be me. I'm an only child. I'm her only next of kin. But it's just, it's unfair. It's unfair. And that bothers me. God forbid, it bothers me that it's really, really, really fucking unfair that I have to manage all of her shit. Because that's what I was getting at earlier. Is that I know that my grandmother was abusive to my mother. Right? Like, I know that. There's no... And I watched it happen, right? Because when my mother and father got divorced, mom moved back in with grandma. And it was fine. Grandma treated me okay. Grandma did not treat mom okay. There were a number of times where I was sitting there and I watched my grandmother make my mother cry. Just from being mean to her. Now, I don't know necessarily what was said. I was a child, and I wasn't paying that close attention. But there were a number of times where she made her feel like shit. Not to mention the whole, well, grandma didn't call me this. Well, grandma did this to me, and I don't do that to you. Therefore, I don't abuse you. Kind of, or therefore I'm not being unjustly mean to you, like she would often say. Right? Like, it was very obvious that this is a cycle of abuse that is being perpetuated by a woman who, as a result of said abuse, is too sick to realize that what she dealt with is abuse and what she is perpetuating is abuse. And I have understood this for a very long time. It's very messy. Lots of very messy, upsetting emotions. And fairness and justness is actually something that I care a lot about. Oh, okay. I can do that. That's why I keep, like, mentioning that, yeah, it pisses me off. It's not fair. There's nothing I can do about it. And don't even fucking hit me with the life's not fair, get over it. Yeah, I fucking know that. That doesn't mean I can't try to make sure things are fair in the aspects that I can fucking control. It's frustrating. It's frustrating when things don't work out because someone's being unfair intentionally. Like, let's try to avoid that. I don't know, is that so fucking radical? She hurt me. And no one really knew. No one really knew, like, what she had done, how she had treated me, for how long. It wasn't, like, common knowledge in the family, as far as I know, at least. I mean, maybe it was. I know that my uncle distanced himself. My aunt distanced herself. I found out that she hadn't even been talking to her own kids. That's why I kept this like this. My cousins. For some fucking reason. I don't know. Fortunately, a good chunk of the family, like, is still present. I can communicate with them and we can get stuff taken care of. It just sucks, man. That's all I can really say. It just sucks. It sucks that I have to handle my abuser's estate. Someone who hurt me, and I have to take care of her again. Oh, that's what I was trying to fucking say. God damn it. Holy shit, dude. Cycle of abuse. My grandmother treated my mother like shit, but she also instilled in her this notion that, like, you have to take care of me when I'm old, which is, like, a common thing that a lot of parents feel entitled to is that, oh, well, I have a kid so that they can help me with housework and also take care of me when I'm old. If that's the only reason you're having a kid, don't fucking have a kid. Okay? Crazy notion, I know. Oh, but who will take care of me when I'm old? Prepare for it now, then. Set yourself up to be put in a home. Your kids do not owe you taking care of you in their old age. You bring them into this fucking awful, awful world. That's 3, that's 2, and then this is a 5 high. Okay. You bring them into this awful, awful fucking world. And in my case, I'm then treated like shit for 20 years. Nearly. And you expect me to want to fucking take care of you? Dream on. Fuck, dude. I just... I don't know. But that's what I was trying to say. That's what happened with my mother and grandmother. She, my mom, went back to her abuser, my grandmother, in order to live with her and take care of her in her final days. And take care of her when she died. So, now I have to do the same. And I didn't fucking ask for this, alright? I didn't. I didn't want this. I wanted nothing to do with this. And yet here I am, having to take care of someone who hurt me. But, in the midst of all this, some kind of silver lining. It'll all be over soon. And I'm trying to remind myself of that. And honestly, I think that's what's kept me going through all of this. Because it is really stressful. But, because my mom also treated my dad really poorly. Like, she abused him. Not in the same way that she abused me, but it was the same person. Like, I'm sure her tactics were similar enough. He got out. I say fortunately. A lot earlier than I did. Because she asked for the divorce. I think they were only together for like 7 years. I mean, then he had to deal with her, like, by proxy because of me, right? But he wasn't living with her. I had to live with her. Not only for a solid, what, like 10, 11 years longer than he had to, but she was my mom. Those were my formative years. Those were the years of my life that were most influential on my personality and my values. Somehow, I still turned out okay. I'd like to assume. But I will bear these scars for my whole life. Like, it's something I have to live with, and it's something that I'm constantly going to have to be aware of and watching for. Like I said, I don't want to hurt the people I care about. I fully plan to, I don't think I've, necessarily, like, mentioned this, but there's a Tumblr post that always made me cry. When I, would come across it. I barely use Tumblr. But it's like, when all this is over, I'll have a cherry pie. And then the next post is them with their pie. And now, I don't know if... that's kind of the beauty of the post, right? Is you don't know if it's, like, an escape from abuse type of situation, or if they were just moving out of their house and it was really busy, or if it was something mundane or something serious. But the sentiment that it can be over, that it will get better, is one that really fills me with a lot of hope. And I fully believe that in the next couple months, my family and I, not just my father, my stepmother too, will be able to put all of this behind us and focus on ourselves, instead of having to worry about her ghost over our shoulders. It's been a long, hard road, but I have hope it'll get better. It's weird because obviously, right, like, my mom died, and it's only a few days after it happened. And I'm, like, fine, generally speaking. Like, I wake up at a reasonable... I've been having some difficulty sleeping, but, like, not a terrible amount. Not nearly as much as when I moved out. Like, in the days following me coming to my father and stepmother's house, I was having night terrors. I couldn't sleep. I was nauseous. It was awful. But now she's dead, and most people would be really pretty fucking torn up about this, and it's just like, I don't know. I, like, went out and got my medication and Taco Bell today. I, like, am washing my clothes and trying to keep my room clean. I'm still, like, I'm okay. I'm generally okay. Like, yes, I cry when I speak with the funeral directors and the cemetery people. I still haven't figured out, like, what I'm doing for a memorial service. I'm not sure we're even going to be able to afford what I want to do with her body, which, yes, I said I had it cremated, which we were able to afford, but like I said, I don't want her ashes in my house. I don't want it in this house where I'm living now, and I don't want it in any future houses. I don't. I want nothing to do with it. She hurt me. She hurt the people I care about. I don't want her near me, even in death. And by extension, unfortunately, even though my grandmother was good to me, she was not good to a lot of people, including my mother and including my father. So I don't really want her ashes either. So I was hoping I could get a plot next to my grandfather. So my mom's dad, my grandfather, I never met him. He died when my mother was 4. So she also never really met him. And unfortunately, she didn't really have, like, a place. Mom didn't really have, like, you know how some people are like, oh, well, I always go to such and such park every day, or I've always dreamed of going to such and such country. She never had that. Like, she mentioned wanting to take me to Hawaii a few times, which, now that I'm older and smart, like, even, like, probably around high school was the only time where I was even remotely interested in going. Well, when I was younger, sure, I was interested in going to Hawaii, but as I got older, I was like, I don't really fuck with, like, the evil tourism industry, right? Like, I started figuring out what politics were in high school. So now I understand, like, more so what is involved with going to Hawaii. But that was, she only wanted to take me because she had a really good experience when Grandma took her. And she wanted to take me to swim with the dolphins, too. She had a couple of, like, local parks, but nothing that was particularly meaningful. So I figured the best place for her would then be by her father. Because I literally don't know if there would be anywhere else for her. And I asked my stepbrother and I asked the individuals living with her. I can't say partner with my full chest because I don't know what happened. As far as I know, they weren't partners, but I don't know. Or they were, but they're not. I don't know. I asked them because you knew her better than I did these past few years. Is there any, and then you were close to her, you lived with her. Obviously there was some sort of emotional connection there, but they didn't really give me anything beyond that she wanted to be cremated, so that's fine. I figured I would just try to get her a place by her father. Cause I'm not an afterlife believer, right? I don't, it's like, oh, do you remember before you were born? Nope, that's probably what it's gonna be like when you die. I'm not spiritual, I'm not religious. I'm not someone who subscribes to that sort of thing. So it's not really something that, and she really wasn't either. She was interested in, what was it? Like, I don't want to just say, like, pagan, because it wasn't. She was spiritual, but not religious, I think. So, there's not really any, like, religious practices that are going to have any great effect on what I decide to do with her. I don't know. Well, I would say she'd be rolling in her grave, but she's not getting one of those. She'd be livid if she knew I was saying these things about her. And she would feign, maybe not even fake, like, pearl clutching, how dare you say these things about me? It's like, well, I didn't raise you to do that. It's like, well, you kind of did. Tough shit. Sorry. It's kind of where I am. I don't know. This is all very exhausting. And my parents have been super, super supportive. And my cousin has checked up on me. And I've remained in contact with my stepbrother throughout this. Mostly out of necessity. But I never left him with any ill will. He didn't really do anything wrong. He just didn't act. When the police came, the only reason they came is because I was on the phone with a friend when she attacked me. I yelled for him to call the police and he didn't. My friend did. But I can't necessarily hold him accountable for that, simply because if he had, he would have jeopardized his own housing. because mom hadn't adopted him or anything, and he was an adult at that point. So he really was only just living with us because he was already living with us when his dad was there, and then his dad died. I feel bad for him in all of this, but I think he'll figure it out. He had mentioned having a few friends, so that's good. That even though even though I haven't spoken to him, he has a support system. He'll be okay. Because we're basically the same age. I think he's a little older than me. It's weird. I'll say this, it's very weird having little pieces of her still kind of around, even though I really don't want them. Like, I have her phone, it's behind me. Her alarms keep going off and waking me up, and it's annoying. And that's the thing, this is still so fresh that I don't even have a death certificate, so I can't really, like, do fucking anything. I can't do anything. Because I have no, like, paper proof that she died. Although I will say Nicor was very helpful, and so was, the city that she lived in for the water payments and stuff. They were kind and helpful. I think who was it? I think it was the Nicor lady that was like, yeah, we don't think people are gonna lie about that sort of thing. It's like, that's a really nice sentiment. I'm sure they fucking would at some point. Like, that will happen, but let's not count on it. And I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate that they have that much faith in people that they're not gonna lie about family members being dead to steal control of their gas and heat. I will say it is very funny being one of the first homeowners out of my friend group in the year of our Lord 2025 at 24 years old. You too could own a home with this one simple trick. I don't know. I try to make light of this. Like I said, I'm still generally in good spirits. It's just things get hard when I have to, like, actually sit down and break it down and go over, like, how do I feel about this? Because I could totally just, like, block it all out, go completely neutral, be like, yeah, I'm fine, and then not allow myself to feel anything. But that's not healthy, and that's not good, and I did that for a very long time because I had to. With Mom, I wasn't allowed to feel things. I got bitched at if I was happy, I got bitched at if I was sad, I got bitched at if I was angry about things. You know what I'm pissed off about? I asked her for Christmas for a damn it doll because I would get mad that she would call me a liar or tell me I didn't do something that I did do or whatever it was. And the one fucking time I used it, I got yelled at about using it. Mind you, a damn it doll is just like a fucking toy that you beat. It's like a stuffed animal that you beat against your bed. You know what this fucking bitch did? She went and fucking bought herself one. I saw it in her room. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It was constant double standards with her. God. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. About literally every single memory that comes up is negative. Every single fucking one. And I have some hope. So, my aunt and mother and uncle and mother are like 15 years apart. So my cousins are about that much older than me. Like, they're in their 40s now, I want to say. Now that I'm in my 20s. 30s, maybe. I don't know. And they... Because of that, because my mom was, like, over a decade older than them, my cousins, but still younger than her sister, she ended up babysitting for my cousins. And I'm wondering, I don't have any proof for this, but I'm wondering if they kind of experienced, a little bit more of her than, like, more, I'm wondering if they experienced more of how she treated me because they were also in a position of, the word is not subservience, but I'm going to use subservience. Like, I am babysitting you, therefore XYZ, you know? I'm wondering, excuse me, if because of that, they would be a little bit more understanding and they would kind of know where I'm coming from with all of this. I think they do. I think they know. My one cousin was the only one that ever asked how my relationship was going with her. And I'm really, really genuinely very appreciative of that. Now, was I honest? No. I downplayed it. But I also downplayed it to the police that day, so that doesn't really say anything. I spent a lot of time downplaying what I experienced. Just to try to keep the peace. I don't know. I talk about things like this and it gets really fucking sad. But I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like, woe is me. But I'm also not gonna pretend that that's not warranted at this point. Right? Because plenty of people could be like, oh, why are you making a video about your dead mother? To milk views? It's like, well, not really, but, like, now that you mention it. It's very much like, well, I don't know, like I told my therapist, it's kind of just to organize my thoughts, right? Because I tend to take a bit longer than most people to, like, sort through how I feel about a given thing. Sometimes I don't realize how bothered something makes me until much later. I don't want to, like, prevent myself from feeling a given way about this. But I also don't want to, like, lie and say that I'm feeling sad. But I don't... The sense of mourning I get from this situation is not like the sense of mourning I had when my grandmother died, right? Because my grandmother died when I was, like, 9. And I was tore up. I was horribly tore up. She was so much nicer to me than Mom. And I even at that age, I was like, I think I love her more than I love my mom. Because she wasn't fucking mean to me. Like, she wasn't mean to me in the same way that Mom was mean to me. She did a couple things, but I also wasn't with her all the time. So, I didn't see it constantly as, like, her being mean to me. I saw it as, like, she's being nice to me compared to how mom treats me, therefore she's nice to me, and I like her more than mom. This is literally, like, the thought process of child me. Honestly, at this point, I am kind of just, like, rambling. But that was kind of the point of this video, anyway, was to be like, hey, sorry the next video is not Deltarune. My mom's literally dead. Fuck. I wanted the next video to be Deltarune, and then I had a Minecraft puzzle map that I did with Lob, like, a year ago at this point, and I edited most of it, but I didn't finish it, and I wanted to get that up at some point, but then my mom died, so I couldn't really, I haven't had the energy to do much, because I'm so stressed. Even though I'm not sad about it, there's still a lot, like, going on in my head, right? Like, obviously I've been talking for like an hour straight almost. I think part of it too is I find myself crying every time I have to, like, tell someone that she's gone. Part of that might be, like, the speaking it into reality. Part of it is also the, now they're going to be sad and I'm part of the reason. So having to constantly call a bunch of companies and be like, hey, I'm the daughter, I'm calling on behalf of her to tell you that she is fucking dead. She's fucking dead, and you need to tell me what I need to do so that I can take care of things. Which, I mean, hey, if you guys have any questions about, like, American companies and what their kind of procedure is, for when someone does die, I'm happy to help. Any sort of, like, hey, what's gonna happen when I mention this? It's like, well, because I do want to bring that up because, oh, what the fuck? That's my alarm. Oh, that's my 12:30. I still leave a lot of my alarms on from when I was at work during the season, which fortunately this all happened after Christmas and after work. So I'm not having to take any, like, grieving time off of work. I'm not worried about getting paid because I wasn't getting paid anyway. Although I do have a job interview on this Friday, so we'll see how that goes. And it doesn't help being, like, mentally ill on top of this, because I can't tell if any depression I feel is because of this situation, or if it's just because I have depression. And I'm, like, taking medication for it or whatever. Like, I can't tell, and it's kind of annoying. Yeah. I think that's everything that I really had to say. It's a lot of frustration. It's a lot of anxiety. I hate, like, calling people. I know that's, like, a Gen Z thing. It's like, oh, you hate talking on the phone or whatever. I can do it if I need to, but I don't like doing it. Just because, like, I don't know. Kind of sound like a fucking idiot. I also am kind of a fucking idiot, so whatever. But yeah, this is what I've been working on. I don't really know what else to do with myself right now. I don't want to pick up any, like, I don't want to pick up any miniature painting. I don't want to, like, work on any of my actual, like, art projects and stuff. I haven't really had any desire to, because this has been such a blow. Not even, like, sadness. It's like, and it's weird because I want to say my sense of normalcy, but Excuse me. What the fuck does that squirrel have? Is that a whole fucking bagel? Good for him. I don't even really want to say my, like, sense of normalcy because... Well, no, it kind of is. It is kind of my sense of normalcy because it's a weird contradiction because, like, I wake up, I still have my coffee, like, my father and stepmother still go to work, but I, like, own a house and a car, like 2 cars, and a phone, and I also have to figure out, like, how to pay for stuff. Like, there's a bunch of stuff I now have to do where I didn't have to worry about that. Like, I'm still functioning day to day, but unfortunately I'm stuck in, like, a waiting mode until I get a death certificate. Until I get a death certificate, I can't do anything. I just have to, like, deal with it. You know? Like, I just have to, like, wait, get a death certificate, and then when I get a death certificate, I can... Once I get a death certificate, I can, like, actually start dealing with stuff. I also kind of just have to talk to a lawyer, right? Because she died really young. She didn't have a will set up, which is why I'm going to talk with an attorney. Also, just, like, kind of a note for everyone out there. Lawyers are not bad. Don't get hostile when you hear someone's going for a lawyer. Just get your own. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Everyone seems to bristle when I mention lawyer. They're not bad. I don't understand. I really don't fucking understand why everyone loses their goddamn mind when I mention lawyer. Their job is argue. Let them do that. Oh, what the fuck? Why did she put these back? Oops. Oops, 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 oops. Ah, the evil zoo. Forgive me. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk to a lawyer, and it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna figure out what I need to do for her. I'm probably gonna end up having to transfer everything to my name, but there are complications, what with having people that are not related to her living in that house. So it's definitely a bit of a, I don't know. I don't really want to say mess, but it's messy. This is a messy thing. So. But yeah. So this is definitely something that I'm gonna be dealing with. Like I said, I'm hoping to make videos. We'll see. I don't know if or when that's going to happen, just because, like, I have a lot on my plate right now, and all I've really been doing is contacting, like, one person a day, nearly having a panic attack, and then playing Minecraft. This is, like, 2 years worth of work, mind you. This world is, like, 2 years old. But I'm cold. Yeah. Anyway. So, this was recent. This isn't like, oh, where I've been. Deltarune was kind of like, oh, where I've been. And like I said in that video, I have a job. I have a job that I really like. And it pays me okay. I'm not trying to make YouTube my job. It'd be cool if it was, but I also don't think I would feel very fulfilled if that was the case. Just because, like... I enjoy... The aspect of my job that I enjoy is going outside. And I go a little stir-crazy if I stay cooped up indoors all the time, now that I have a job that I go outside all the time in. So, that's why. So, again, while I do appreciate and enjoy making videos, it's not going to be a regular thing for me. I want to get more regular with it. I do. I don't want to post once in a year, but weekly is a bit much. Maybe monthly. But it's probably going to be my standard stuff. I mean, shit, maybe it will be weekly. Maybe I'll record once a month and then chop it up into fucking 4 different videos. We'll see. Oh, did I not put a torch in here? God fucking damn it. Anyway. God damn, guys. You already filled this shit up again? No. Evil library. Anyway. Oh, I didn't. Okay, that's fine. One of the only buildings with an actual interior. Eventually I want every building to have an interior, but you know. Only so much that can be done. I'm kind of just doing a tour at this point. I've wanted to show off this build for a little bit, because I'm actually very proud of this. I've put in a lot of work and time and effort over the past couple years, especially the past few weeks. And Lob has too. She's helped me collect a lot of materials, because I'll be honest, I'm a lazy bitch, but at the same time, I hate building in creative. I also built a sewer system, but it's not done, and I don't really want to show that right now. One of the other only buildings that has an interior, and it's just a couple farms. Oh, the sad graveyard. I had a couple of the cats around the city die, so I just started doing this. Anyway, like I said, it's not all textured, not everything is done, but I'm happy with the parts that are finished, so I'm really looking forward to how this all comes together. Oh, and I can show you a map. Doesn't include the most recent stuff, but I updated it yesterday. So, There's a few things over here that I haven't shown off. Stone and cobblestone. This building here. Sugarcane farm. A couple other buildings along the boardwalk down here. And then the remnant villager houses. So. Yeah. This is probably gonna end up being like my forever world, I suppose. Yes, I add an ambient sound mod because the few times that we've put on birdsong for the cats, or like bird videos for the cats, the bird noises in the morning have just been really nice. So that's part of why I wanted it. Unfortunately, there's like a bunch of mud here, so it's giving me frog noises, and there's also water here, so it's giving me seagull noises. But this is what I've been up to in my free time. Yeah. So I'm gonna probably edit this tomorrow. I don't really have a lot of energy left right now to edit through this. I still have to fold laundry and put it away. And I've been talking for nearly 2 hours straight at this point. I don't know when I'll post this. Probably tomorrow. I might edit and post it tomorrow. I have therapy tomorrow. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience having my abusive mother die and being her only child. It's definitely been an experience. I don't know what else to say. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm struck with injustice. But there's also a sense of relief. A sense of it'll all be over soon. And I have a really good support system. My family, both sides, have come to lend aid should I need it. And I have my awesome friends who will be there for me and have been there for me. And I'm going to be okay. And I know I'm going to be okay. Which it's rewarding being able to say that with my whole chest and believe it. Because for a long time I don't think I did. But now I do. And hopefully soon myself and my family can share that cherry pie. Thank you for listening.